Good morning. I think the first prayer I will say this morning is for Priscilla's nephew who passed away unexpectedly. And my husband really loves this chant, so I'll see if I can do it this morning. Oh my God, oh thou forgiver of sins, bestower of gifts, dispeller of afflictions, verily I beseech thee to forgive the sins of such as have abandoned the physical garment and ascended to the spiritual world. O my Lord, purify them from trespasses, dispel their sorrows, and change their darkness into light. Cause them to enter the garden of happiness. Cleanse them with the most pure water and grant them to behold thy splendor on the loftiest mount. O my God and my Master, I am thy servant and the son of thy servant. I have risen from my couch at this dawntide, when the day star of thy oneness hath shone forth from the dayspring of thy will, and hath shed its radiance upon the whole world, according to what had been mentioned in the books of thy decree. Praise be unto thee, that we have wakened to the splendors of the dayspring of thy revelation. Send down then upon us, O my Lord, what will enable us to dispense with everyone but thee. And release our attachment to aught else except thyself. Write down, moreover, for me, and for such as are dear to me, and for my kindred, man and woman alike, the good of this world and of the world to come. Keep us safe then through thine unfailing protection. O thou, the beloved of the entire universe and the desire of the whole world. from them whom thou hast made to be the manifestation of the evil whisperer, who whisper in men's breasts. Potent art thou to do what pleaseth thee. Thou art verily the Almighty, the help in peril, the self-subsisting. Bless thou, O Lord my God, him whom thou hast set over thy most excellent titles, and through whom thou hast divided between the godly and the wicked. And graciously aid us to do what thou lovest and desirest. Bless thou moreover, O my Lord, them who are thy words and thy letters, and them who have set their faces towards thee, turned unto thy face, and hearken to thy call. Thou art verily the Lord and King of all men, and art potent over all things. I'm going to recite the long healing prayer today. He is the healer, the sufficer, the helper, the all-forgiving, the all-merciful. I call on thee, O exalted one, O faithful one, O glorious one. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O sovereign, O upraiser, O judge. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O peerless one, O eternal one, O single one. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O most praised one, O holy one, O helping one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O omniscient, O most wise, O most great one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O clement one, O majestic one, O ordaining one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O beloved one, O cherished one, O enraptured one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O mightiest one, O sustaining one, O potent one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O ruling one, O self-subsisting, O all-knowing one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O Spirit, O light, O most manifest one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O thou frequented by all, O thou known to all, O thou hidden from all, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding. I call on thee, O concealed one, O triumphant one, O bestowing one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O Almighty, O succoring one, O concealing one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O fashioner, O satisfier, O uprooter, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O rising one, O gathering one, O exalting one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O perfecting one, O unfettered one, O bountiful one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O beneficent one, O withholding one, O creating one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O most sublime one, O beauteous one, O bounteous one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O just one, O gracious one, O generous one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O all-compelling, O ever-abiding, O most knowing one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O magnificent one, O ancient of days, O magnanimous one, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O well-guarded one, O Lord of joy, O desired one. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O thou kind to all, O thou compassionate with all, O most benevolent one. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O thou succorer of all, O thou invoked by all, O quickening one. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O unfolder, O ravager, O most clement one. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O thou my soul, O thou my beloved, O thou my faith. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O quencher of thirsts, O transcendent Lord, O most precious one. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O greatest remembrance, O noblest name, O most ancient way. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O most lauded, O most holy, O sanctified one. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee. O unfastener, O counselor, O deliverer. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O friend, O physician, O captivating one. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O glory, O beauty, O bountiful one. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding. O thou abiding one. I call on thee. O the most trusted, O the best lover, O Lord of the dawn. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding. O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O enkindler, O brightener, O bringer of delight. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O Lord of bounty, O most compassionate, O most merciful one. Thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O constant one, O life-giving one, O source of all being, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O thou who penetratest all things, O all-seeing God, O Lord of utterance, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O manifest yet hidden, O unseen yet renowned, O onlooker, sought by all, thou the sufficing, thou the healing, thou the abiding, O thou abiding one. I call on thee, O thou who slayest the lovers, O God of grace to the wicked, O sufficer, I call on thee, O sufficer, O healer, I call on thee, O healer, O abider, I call on thee, O abider, thou, the ever abiding, O thou abiding one. Sanctified art thou, O Lord my God. I beseech thee by thy generosity, whereby the portals of thy bounty and thy grace were opened wide, whereby the temple of thy holiness was established upon the throne of eternity, and by thy mercy, whereby thou didst invite all created things unto the table of thy bounties and thy bestowals, and by thy grace, whereby thou didst respond in thine Own self with thy word yea on behalf of all, in heaven and earth, at the hour when thy sovereignty and thy grandeur stood revealed, at the dawn time, when the might of thy dominion was made manifest. And again do I beseech thee by these most beauteous names, and by these most noble and sublime attributes, and by thy most exalted remembrance, and by thy pure and spotless beauty, and by thy hidden light in the most hidden pavilion, and by thy name, cloaked with the garment of affliction, every morn and eve, to protect the bearer of this blessed tablet, and whoso reciteth it, and whoso cometh upon it, and whoso passeth around the house wherein it is. Heal them thou by it, every sick, diseased, and poor one, from every tribulation and distress, from every loathsome affliction and sorrow. And guide thou by it whosoever desireth to enter upon the paths of thy guidance, and the ways of thy forgiveness and grace. Thou art verily the powerful, the all-sufficing, the healing, the protector, the giving, the compassionate, the all-generous, the all-merciful,